like it.
We are all set, Captain. You are ready to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Event 5 here in the OFI. I'm your host tonight, Karma, joined alongside by Scotty, mate. How you doing?
Doing very well. Not as nicely dressed as what you are, but it's a fantastic night over the next 2 weeks that we'll have qualifying for tonight. 13 leagues trying to get 10 spots, 26 down to 20 drivers. I've seen a lot of guys practice Australia over the last, say, 2 weeks, so it's going to be fascinating. It's going to be really tight in terms of who are the top 10 that actually make it in.
Yeah, it is. And tonight we've got, I think it's 13 different leagues trying to compete for the top 10 league spot for the 20 drivers tonight. I believe how it would work tonight is that we're going to have 2 different lobbies, one of 6 and one of 7, and the combined time between the 2 drivers is their qualification time. So if you get a 1:16.8 and a 1:16.6, that combines to a 2 minutes 33 point. What was that? 4. So that's what it would combine to, and then that's your time. So, and speaking of, I'm just going to bring it up straight away. If you are in the OFI Discord, there is a form that you can predict the total cutoff time, so what the cutoff time is for P10, and if you do, you get a free copy of the game of F1 24, not 23, but 24. So if you haven't already, make sure that you go and submit your time, make sure you fill that out correctly. But Scotty, we've got about, I believe we're trying to get to green flag at 7:05, so we've got 9 minutes to get through all of our stuff. We've got heaps of time to talk about this stuff. I see we've already got 76 beautiful people in here tonight. I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be really good. I love commentating these, but obviously, Scotty, you'll be in with George next week, so I'll make the most of it tonight.
That's right. Got a little nerves tonight, but yeah, it's definitely going to be exciting next week to obviously commentate with George. It's going to be a fantastic experience, obviously for myself, but as I said, the quality of drivers that we got in here, it's going to be a fantastic race nonetheless, depending on who we get in. So, yeah, definitely looking forward to it, but happy to join you tonight for these 2 quick quali sessions. So looking forward to it. Just sort of waiting for the last couple of guys, as you said, but obviously we'll get to our lineup. So I think it's 7 leagues in the first lobby and then 6 leagues in the second lobby. So we've pretty much split it right down the middle.
Yeah, so we can jump over to that now. So we'll just bring it up on the stream. So in our first one, we've got 6 lobbies. So we've got, first up, we've got Flashback Racing. Obviously, you're associated with that heavily, Scotty. With Ryan Cox and Gregory Priswell, which is a very, very strong lineup, those two drivers. Driving exceptionally well at the moment. I believe Ryan Cox has been pretty dominant at Australia in recent league racing. Followed by Velocity Esports Central or VSC, as people might know it as, with Jordan Arnold and Checkered Flag. I believe Checkered Flag is filling in for somebody else. I can't remember who it was, but he's filling in. We've also got the Mercedes of ARL with Seb and Ecom, followed by the Wallaby Racing League with Left 4 Dead and OX Chillo. And I think Left 4 Dead is a sneaky pole tonight, maybe in terms of the fastest actual time. I haven't seen much of him, but from what I've seen so far, he's electric. And this time, go.
Sorry, I was just going to say, saw him race earlier on this week, and actually hadn't heard much from Left 4 Dead, but very, very quick. So I'm really looking forward to what they can provide here in Australia over the next, hopefully, week, if Wallaby can get through to the top 10.
Yes, and Blake Stevenson was who Checker Flag is filling in for at VSC. He's just corrected me in the chat. I'm sorry, buddy. I completely forgot. I did know that you were racing. So I just I knew that he was replacing someone, but I couldn't remember who, but it's Blake Stevenson. Next up, we've got the ARL boys, who are now moved over to Racespec of Ryan Bell and Al Karuden, as I believe ARL didn't have a F1 series this season. So they're representing Racespec. We all know how quick Ryan Bell is with his fights with Jack Humphries, who is unfortunately not racing tonight. So the next up, we've got Inters Racing with XPG Goat and KLX, who actually haven't seen much of KLX this season, to be honest, but we do know that he is also a very quick driver. Then we've got Oz F1's Will Burr 14 and X Verk. I don't know much about Will Burr 14, but we'll find out tonight. I do know a little bit about Verk, so we'll see how we go. And we're just getting that lobby sorted. We've got 13 drivers in. I think we're waiting on... Oh, we've got 13 in at the moment. 13? Why do we have 13? It should be 12.
That's right. We shouldn't be too far away anyway. The game decided to crash, so we're obviously getting the little kinks out now. But looking at that lineup, as I said, I think your early favourites have to be, I reckon, Racespec. We saw Ryan and Al do really well in OFI5. Both, I believe, potentially winning a race, if I'm not mistaken. So they were really, really good in the previous event. So, yeah, they're going to be one of the early front runners to take out the race next week, if they can obviously qualify.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, I personally believe that flashback lineup is juicy. Ryan Cox with Gregory Priswell. Obviously, there's a lot of drivers that have actually swapped around since the previous time that we've done one of these league versus league invitationals. I believe the first couple that we did were, and then OFI5 we switched into individual drivers over 4 races. But we'll see. We've got lots of different drivers, obviously in different cars, different teams, and it's all about teamwork. I think we're focusing heavily on this league versus league rather than it being an individual effort. And I believe, I'm not too sure, but Scotty, are you familiar with how we are scoring the main race? Is it just the team that matters, or is it also individual?
Not 100% sure. Obviously, being in a single individual, I'd imagine it sort of be your similar sort of real life the point system that we've been using in the past, and then obviously the combined placings of the two drivers would be right up there. But I think the people that you're probably going to remember are the people that do finish in the top 3. So it's definitely going to be interesting. And as I said, with the teamwork, especially in this quali session, we know sort of obviously racing around Australia, whether they have been practicing a lot of their toes. Obviously, when we load into qualifying, we'll have the situation where without a race session ahead of them, people can use all of their soft tyres. They may even go the softer one and nearly be able to just squeeze in about 4 soft runs as well. So we're going to see cars on track pretty much the entire 18 minutes, and that 18 minutes will go quick for all the drivers. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the team sort of manage that, and then obviously trying to use the tow as well. We'll see which teams effectively use that particular thing.
I'll be quite interested to see if the tow does come into effect and where it comes into effect. I think if people were to tow, it would be into the 910 chicane. I think that's probably the best opportunity to get the maximum value out of a tow, would be through there. And I do think it's not like a normal qualifying session, this, where you would go out on your inters and save a set of softs for the race. It's all or nothing. People are going to be running those 4 sets of softs. If the lap is crap, they're coming in and going again on another set. So we may see 4 runs from some drivers who make mistakes and decide to come in and go straight back out again, which we're going to have, like you said, we're going to have cars out on track the whole time. So we're almost ready to go. I believe the tick-off is 7:05. We're all in the lobby. And I can see we've broken 100. Holy crap. We've already broken 100 and we haven't even shown a single car yet. So thank you to everybody for joining out tonight, here tonight to come and see this wonderful spectacle that Slammer and some of the other guys in the background have put on. So make sure you guys are cheering on your favourite league in tonight's race. But
yeah, and we appreciate obviously all the hard work that obviously especially Slammer's gone into. So yeah, obviously big thank you to all them, and obviously we've had 4 great events, and yeah, definitely looking forward to event number 5. Obviously going back to our roots with the league versus league dynamics. So yeah, should be a fun one.
Yeah, it will be good, and it's good. It's also great to see all these Oceania leagues coming together that are all race on different nights. And if you are also looking to race, I believe in the OFI Discord. It acts as like a little league hub. If you want to know what league you can compete in and what tier you might be in, there's actually a calendar in there that actually shows you what nights every league's racing. So obviously everyone's not available 24/7, but you can visit the OFI Discord. I believe there's a link that keeps popping up if you do !Discord, it might pop up in the chat. But if you would like to join, and you can see what leagues are on. But yes, obviously these are the first 7. So I'll just jump back to our beautiful faces. So I'm looking very much forward to this. This is very exciting. I love doing these. This is my favourite commentating events that we could possibly do. Slammer loves chucking me on. I'm a bit I get around it. It's great. But I believe we're starting to get some readying up. Now I'm going to ask the chat quickly. What time will be pole? Like genuine pole. What do we think we're going to see? Are we going to see a 15? Or do you think we'll see a low 16? What do you think, Scotty?
So a couple of drivers hit about a 16.2, so they're sort of the quickest in a sort of your regular 18-minute quali session. So if they nail their laps, we could just manage to squeeze into that 15. But yeah, definitely possibly a 16.1, 16.2 will get you right up there at that start of the grid. So yeah, looking for those quick guys to probably around that time.
Yeah, we're seeing a few 15.8s, 15.9s, 16 flats. Yeah, we're seeing a lot, and it'll be quite interesting because obviously, we've got the form for the cutoff time being like where everyone can predict the cutoff time, but it's that pole time because that combined time. If you're 2 drivers and you get the fastest time of the grid, and you also get someone that crashes, if you crash out, I'll actually specify this rule because I actually had to ask Slammer about it. If you crash, you get a default time of 2 minutes. So I think it's 2 minutes or it's 1:30. It's brutal. Whatever it is, it's absolutely brutal and it's super punishing and it practically ruins your teammate. So it's all about teamwork and it's so much pressure because it's not only on you, it's also on your teammate as well to not bin it, essentially.
Yeah, and it might actually force a couple of these drivers also to maybe just warm up just a little bit, not completely go 100% out of the blocks, get a decent banker lap in, and then on those final couple of runs, you can then push the car as much as you want. But you need to at least get that probably that settler, that banker, just to sort of give you a good platform to bounce off for, say, the final 12 minutes of the session. So we'll just wait and see. It'll slowly build up, but yeah, hopefully no one gets a little bit too excited and unfortunately finds the wall, especially at out of turn 10. We know that's caused a lot of problems in a lot of leagues. So yeah, fingers crossed we don't have anybody crash out, and it is purely on pace that we see our 20 drivers picked for next week.
Yeah, turn 10, turn 6, they're absolutely brutal. But the lobby's getting started now, but I'll quickly specify, if they have set a time and then they crash, it's the time they set. So it's if they set 0 time. So if they invalidate, then go out again and then crash, then you get that. I think it's a minute 30 or 2 minutes. Either way, it ruins your race. So or ruins your quali. But we're jumping in now. I'll jump over to the lobby and I'll get everything set up. So we're all good to go. So I've got to click into the game and I've got to move a bunch of stuff around. So let's set this up for everybody. I can already hear someone coming out. Fastest lap, detail. No, we don't really need to see the tyre. Don't need that. Don't need that. Full track map. And then we go. We do that. And then, for everybody at home, do one of those. Do one of those. And let's quickly check the weather. I believe Left 4 Dead's coming out, but we check the weather. Obviously, it's dry. This is a dry session. But yes, I'm just going to quickly... I can't actually see the chat, so I'm going to move it over so I can see it.
Yeah, and clearly we obviously wanted it fair across obviously both lobbies, so dry weather would be perfect as well. So trying to give the conditions as much as possibly can for all 26 drivers.
Yes, and I do see Seb's out. Who is our first car? Is that Gregory Priswell? It is. So Greg's out on his lap. Now, a lot of you guys might notice that when we do jump on board, I believe that's F6. Oh, no, you can't see it with telemetry. But they're high revving, and they're also going really slow. So what's happening? So they're actually holding for a lot of people that don't know, they're actually holding the brake, and they're actually heating up the brakes, and that brake is naturally heating up the tyre to get their tyres warm without putting tyre wear on the car. So for some of you people who didn't know that, I'm sure most of you did, but for some of you who didn't, there you are. But I would have the turn timers up, the turn, what's it called? The turn labels or whatever it is, the turn numbers, but it actually wasn't working for me, unfortunately, so it actually broke. So I wasn't able to do it. But I will sit on board with Gregory Priswell and I'll talk you through a lap of Australia. And I'll talk you through the gearing and throttle application in the braking. So Gregory Priswell, one of the fastest drivers in our region, coming around now. He wants to be in about 4th gear on the entry here for the exit, so you get maximum grip. Coming down towards turn 1, there's a little concrete exit on the left there. That's where you're braking. Coming into turn 1, down into 5th gear, and he's gone very wide. He's already invalidated. I've cursed him. First lap, and he is invalidated. That's not an ideal start for FBR.
Yeah, it's not an ideal start, but thankfully managing to keep it on the road, that could have maybe a little bit more wider, could have found himself into the wall. So, as I said, I think an invalidation you'll take at this early stage because, as we said prior, if you've got one driver out without a lap time, you're pretty much stuffed for the rest of the session, no matter how quick your second driver does go.
Here we go. We're getting the tow already. So Seb is getting towed by his Mercedes teammate there of Eckham, and we're already seeing the tow there. So Seb obviously setting personal best, and game reckons it's a purple sector too, but we all know the game likes to lie. So he's come through turn 10 here, opening up that DRS flap, braking it about just before the 50 border on it, down to 4th gear. Getting that car nice turned in, staying within the racing line. Just a little coast, and he's invalidated on turn 11. Oh, turn 12, sorry. That's a very common invalidating spot there on that turn 12. So he's absolutely wasted his teammate's toe, has Seb, unfortunately.
Yeah, might still try and at least get a bit of a delta time. We'll obviously see that lap coming across the line.
But
Yeah,
there's our first lap
really
time.
unfortunate.
Yeah, there's our first lap time from Jordan Arnold. It's a 16.6, followed by KLX with also a 16.6. I believe Verk's crossed. No, that's not Verk. That's the wrong AlphaTauri. That was Will Burr crossing the line, setting a not very competitive 18.8. So we've also got the two Alpines crossing the line now. Left for Dead goes and sets a provisional pole of a 16.4, followed by his teammate, OX Chillo, with a 1.16.3. So we're already in the 16.3s, and it's our first run.
Yeah, we thought Wallaby was going to be a sneaky chance, and yeah, 1 and 2 at the moment. And as I said, they only just need to be within the 10. Only 3 leagues drop out, so really competitive times to pretty much start off with the track conditions probably at their worst.
That is actually a very, very, very solid start from Wallaby Racing there. Both Alpines, 1 and 2. And Yusuf Go also came across the line set 16.7. But I think Ekin might be on a lap because he did the Torrides Mel. I just caught a massive slide out of turn 10 there from Ekin. Saves it very nicely coming down now into turn 11. That's a nice turn in. Stay within those track limits because the track limits here are actually the white line. Not the white line, the yellow line, not the white line. Ryan Cox with a 1.16.2 has set the new provisional pole there for FBR. And as we see Ekim come across the line, has that slide cost him? Oh, it kind of did. 16.5, still P4. So quite competitive from him. I think checkered flag's on a lap and he's invalidated. Wonder if he's going again or he's just getting a delta. Did you drop out there, Scotty?
Right. No. I thought he wouldn't let me into the session, but I'm finally in now. But Ryan Cox was definitely one of the drivers that were looking at a 16.2. So great lap from Ryan there as a fantastic banker.
Yeah, somebody's already called it. Somebody called it before the 16.2. But I'll continue where we picked up on that last lap here because old mate invalidated. We'll go Al Karudin. You want to be in that fourth gear. You've got to let that car rotate through turn 4 there. You've got to be minimum speed is key. Flat through turn 5. Coming up to turn 6. Braking just after the little cut in the wall for turn 6. Getting on the throttle as early as possible from 6th gear. And full flat all the way down to turn 9. Is Al Karudin. I believe he's the only one on a lap unless checkered flag went again. So braking now just before the 50 board. Down to 6th. Up to 7th through to... And he's just completely cut the track. He's absolutely butchered turn 10. Has Al Karudin. And checkered flag's actually invalidated again. So...
Yeah, unfortunate because I was going to say checkered flag was up, but might just be pushing to come into the pit lane, which checkered is definitely coming in. So obviously a lot of guys in the pits now. Al does come in as well after that massive sort of... that cut at turn 10, so got a couple of drivers out on outlaps now. Wilbur, Ryan Bell, KLX, and Left for Dead. So currently flashback up the top, but Wallaby's not too far behind in 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, indeed. This is interesting. We've got 3 cars, 3 drivers from 3 different leagues, all on a 16.6, and both the Alpines sitting pretty up the top. And we've also got 4 drivers who have set no lap time, as Scotty's actually dropped out of the session again. Might need to...
it's just one of these nights, isn't it? With obviously, that's right. Thankfully, it's quali. Hopefully, we don't have the issues next week. But yeah, Ryan Bell obviously about to start their lap. Obviously, yeah, hopefully they find themselves right up there, Karma. I'll have to leave that to you to commentate his lap, unfortunately.
Yes, that's all right. I'm more than happy to sit on board. Like everybody knows that watches me commentate, I like to sit on board with one driver. I don't like to jump around. I like to watch the full lap. I don't really care if they're not the fastest guy on the grid. However, Ryan Bell is arguably one of them. But I do like sitting on board with the quali lap because everybody gets to see. They get to see the whole lap if they made a mistake. What happened? That is a very interesting line there from, I think that's Will Burr. It could be Will Burr or Verk, one of the AlphaTauris off the track. But Ryan Bell has set a personal best in the first sector. It doesn't say that it's purple on our timing screen. It did say it on the map, but as I said before, we all know that it likes to lie a lot. So Ryan Bell now coming up towards turn 9. He's got this Ferrari in front of him. Make sure that he cuts the corner and gets out of the way. And he's invalidated and he's around. Ryan Bell's around. He's stripping into the Ferrari. Oh, no. Oh, that is not good. He's just spun. He's just spun into that.
Not good.
Yeah, and Jordan Arnold's on an outlap. Now he's got wing damage. And he's actually locked up going into turn 11. Oh, no. Oh, so that's ruined Jordan Arnold's lap.
Yeah, and that's obviously costly amount of time. Jordan obviously at least has a banker on the board of 16.6, but yeah, that really hurts. And obviously Ryan Bell obviously not trying to do that. Just obviously a mistake on the curve, unfortunately, but thankfully both of them still in the session. Obviously they've got times there, but yeah, really unfortunate for those guys as following Gregory around the final corner.
Yeah.
We'll see how they go in terms of the lap time.
Oh, and there we go. FBR. Oh, geez. I turned 16 then for a second. FBR, 1 and 2, 1:16.2 and a 1:16.3. Wowee. So...
Yeah, great pace from Flashback, and there's a couple of leagues that I'm sort of supporting. Flashback is definitely one of them, so good to see Ryan and Gregory right up there, and yeah, those two guys, going to be really, really quick. We saw Gregory towards the end of event 4 get a really good result as well, so showing some good form.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd also like to point out, I think Chillo also went a little bit faster that lap because he's only 3,000th behind his teammate, Left for Dead. But Seb's about to come through and set his first lap. Where will it put Seb? Next to his teammate, 16.553. So we've got FBR, followed by Wallaby, followed by the Alpine group of... I can't remember. It escapes me. Who's the Mercedes group again? It's very hard to follow.
Oceania Racing League.
That's it. OCE.
ORL.
OCE. So this... Wait, OCE?
Oh, hang on.
Isn't it ARL?
Sorry, ARL.
ARL.
The wrong lineup. Looking at the wrong lineup, but
I blame you, Scotty, for that one.
Yes. Yeah. Blame me. I'm looking at the stream, so I'm sort of a little bit behind. But yeah, as we said, as Ryan Cox goes even quicker, 16.1, absolutely flying, and that's quick. That's probably the quickest time I've seen since in a lot of the leagues previously. So that's a quick lap. I think Ryan Cox is. Yeah, I don't think he'll be beaten off that one unless someone's got massive improvement.
Well, we'll see what Al Karudin can do. Al Karudin setting his first quick lap, only good enough for a 16.7. Obviously, he didn't have a delta to go off of. And we've got 140 beautiful people in here, and it's only a qualifying 1. It's amazing. 140 people in here supporting their leagues. This is amazing. I love this. This is great.
And that's sort of what league versus league does. It sort of brings all the drivers that do represent certain leagues, provides plenty of support. So we love to see it. And as I said, yeah, we're in quali 1, so we've got another lobby quali to do for the other 6 leagues. So on following checkered flag.
Yeah, he's invalidated. Yeah, he's invalidated, as I've just seen. Trying to figure out who's on a lap. Is Ekim on a lap? He's invalidated. So Ekim's invalidated. We know Al Karudin's done a lap. Ryan, that's a very interesting line there from Ekim. I think, yeah, Al Karudin's coming in, I believe, unless he's coming again. No, he's coming in. So, I think Chillo, we'll sit on board with Chillo, because I think he'll be our first driver on a lap, unless that Alfa Romeo is also on an outlap. Actually, it probably is on an outlap. Is it KLX? Oh, he's invalidated, but I believe he's on an outlap.
Yeah, KLX is on an outlap.
Yeah. KLX 16.6. He needs to improve. Him and Yusuf both sitting on 16.6s here. 16.6 looks pretty competitive to be the knockout time. So KLX has a lot on his shoulders at the moment to be able to provide a good time. So KLX coming now down towards turn 3. Just got to make sure that he nails it down into 3rd gear, maybe 4th for some extra control on the throttle. Rolls it through turn 4, coming through 5, flat. It's good on that Alpine to get out of the way into turn 3. I think that Alpine's actually going to give the other one a tow. I think that's what I'm seeing on the track map. Maybe. Might jump on board to see that. We jump on. Is this actually, are they giving each other a tow? Yes, they are.
Yeah, that looks like a toe.
They are giving each other a tow. So, there you have it. Left for Dead giving his teammate Chillo a tow. He should back out just before that hairpin. And Chillo goes through, and as you would with the tow, you set that purple second sector, sorry. And he comes through, and that Ferrari gets out of the way. For Chillo coming through turn 11. Quickly jump back to KLX, who's about to come and cross the line. Can KLX improve? He really needs a good lap here. He set a really bad last sector last lap, so hopefully he's able to find some time. KLX goes 5th with a 16.4. That is very competitive from the Alfa Romeo driver.
Yeah, really.
And Chillo, bang! 16.1. Pips Ryan Cox
Nice.
with the tow. So he's put that to good use.
Yeah, and they nailed that absolutely perfectly because the pass didn't make it till right by the time they got to P7, to turn 9. So they were able to maximise the maximum amount of tow, and that's what that gets you. So Ox just about 6/1000ths of a second ahead of Ryan Cox. So you feel like
Ferrari's fucked up. Sorry for language, but Ferrari just stuffed up. Ferrari stuffed up big time. They stuffed up big time with the tow there, did Ferrari, with checkered flag and Jordan Arnold. Jordan Arnold, he's only set a 16.6. Obviously, he had that contact with Ryan Bell. That wasn't caused by anyone, but just by driver error. And does Jordan Arnold suffer here? He's backed out, actually. So his teammate has actually blocked him, trying to give him a tow. That is massive.
Yeah, definitely massive, but I think the more important thing is that maybe Jordan sacrifices this next run because checkered flag needs to get a lap time on the board. Otherwise, you can pretty much rule out VSC. So you desperately need checkered flag to set a non-invalid time.
Yeah, and Left 4 Dead also actually got a tow there from Chillo in return. So where does he go? He goes slightly faster. I think he went about 400ths faster, maybe. I think 800ths faster to P3. But is Gregory Prisball on a lap? He is. I'm trying to figure out who is on a lap that's in danger. Looks like both McLarens are on an out lap. And I do see, is that Verk? Verk, he's only got a 17.3. He needs to pick up the pace. He needs to at least get a 16.6 to remain competitive in this session. And he's in the fence! Oh no! Verk is in the fence, and that's it. That's going to be his final time. 17.3. And he's butchered that car straight into the fence. It's all up to Will Burr to be able to provide a good time to be able to get that AlphaTauri lineup into the top 10. Wowee.
Yeah, I think Checkered's definitely going to be the one that we'll have to watch to see if they make it around.
He's got the tow now from Jordan Arnold after he blocked him. So we shall see. Gregory Prisball's retired from the session. I don't know how that's happened. It looks like he's made contact with the AlphaTauri in the last sector there. Don't really know what's happened there. That is very bizarre. We might see on the way through a checkered flag here. And there is an AlphaTauri in the middle of turn 13. But checkered flag needs to set a lap time. It needs to be valid. And it's valid, but what is it? It needs to be competitive now. Jordan Arnold with a 16.6. What can he do? 16.9. So on the brink, VSC.
Yeah, that's a solid time. So you can pretty much rule out, unfortunately, Oz F1 sort of with their times, unless you have 3 teams sort of DNF in Lobby 2. But yeah, really unfortunate for Oz F1. This at least still gives VSC a chance to make it with checkered flags time. Yeah,
all I'm saying is I could have qualified for VSC. But... Oh, what the hell have I just witnessed? No, that did not just happen. That did not just happen.
And I think it took both Mercs out, didn't it?
It killed both Mercs. What is that? What did I just witness?
Not 100% sure, but remember that there is still sort of a... this will be looked at, so if there are any sort of major blocking or anything like that, that could get penalised after. But yeah, just not sure. Thankfully, both Mercs have actually at least set a decent time in 5th and 7th, but
But I tell
yeah,
you
not
what,
sure what happened
yeah,
there.
that was it. Wow, there was no lap times because that was the last lap time was that Merc, and they've driven straight into the back of Al Karudin going down the straight. I think what's happened was one of the Mercs was giving the other one a tow, and they've gone to pull out, and they've just driven straight into the back of Al Karudin. So, race
Yeah,
spec only good enough
clearly,
for 9th and 11th.
yeah, clearly they were watching watching probably the cars that sort of whoever the one was in front was towing. They were sort of looking at the car behind, not watching sort of what was in front, and our was sort of far to the left, obviously given the guy's space, but they're clearly not really paying attention, and unfortunately, yeah, not able to set their last final time. So it's going to be very interesting to see sort of how Lobby 2 goes because,
I can't
yeah,
believe that.
it's going to be tough. We thought Racebek was going to be one of the top guys, top teams coming in, but only 10th and 11th. It's going to be a bit of a struggle. They really need a couple of the leagues in Lobby 2 to really mess up. Otherwise, yeah, Racebek's going to be a big eliminator.
Yeah, I'd also like to point. His car is still on the track. That Merc was still on the track. But there you have it. There's our first session. Chaotic session, as somebody did say in the chat. But Chillo from is that Wallaby? I can't remember. I actually am hopeless. It's Wallaby, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So I only have enough screens. I don't have enough screens to be able to remember these because I don't have the names and stuff. But OX Chillo is pole position for this group with a 16-1, followed by Ryan Cox from FBR, with Left 4 Dead from Wallaby and Gregory Prisball from FBR. So it's probably safe to say that they are safe. And we've also got another similar order. Seb in the Mercedes, Kalex in the Alfa Romeo, Ekim in the Mercedes, and Yusuf go in the Alfa Romeo. Considering that incident, might have to see what happens to that Mercedes group. But there we have it. That is your 14 qualified cars here in session 1. I'll jump back over to us because I need to set up something in the background while we're doing this.
Yeah, so you figure looking at those times, you'd figure Flashback, you figure Wallaby and ARL, you'd figure those three should be fairly safe in terms of making it through to the next round. So it's going to be an issue whether Respect have sort of got enough of a time, but a 16.7 and a 16.9. I don't know if that's going to be enough, unfortunately. I think we're definitely losing Oz F1, so we're going to lose 2 more teams, and Racebek, unfortunately, might be one of them.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate. I actually cannot believe that happened. That's actually, blown my mind. That is so funny. That is so funny.
It is Australia. We do know how tricky sort of this track can be, and with the teams giving each other toes, I knew it was sort of probably going to be a little bit hectic at the end, and we sort of saw that, but we did see a lot of drivers also invalidate their laps too, so we saw that throughout. So just has to be something to be a little bit mindful for the guys that are waiting to join Lobby 2, that they just have to be a little bit careful in terms of making sure they get a lap time early on, because we saw Checkered Flag, he put a lap time at the death, but it was probably a little bit slower than what he would have wanted as well. So definitely got to put an early lap in to not build the pressure up on yourself.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just reading the chat as well. But I'm very surprised by the outing of Wallaby. I did mention before, I didn't really know who OX... I haven't really seen much of OX Chillo, but I have seen Left 4 Dead, and I did bring him up. He hasn't competed in one of these before, to my knowledge. So it's very, very good outing from Wallaby, putting their name out there on the map. Especially, I think this is their first entry into the OFI that I can recall of.
Yes, I believe it was, because
Can somebody confirm that for me? I believe.
Yeah, I think because we did only have 10 leagues, so obviously we've had a couple of leagues obviously join for Event 5, but yeah, I don't believe Wallaby was, but as I said at the start of the stream, Left 4 Dead saw him race Monday night and was very impressed with what pace they had, and obviously definitely showed it this evening. So fantastic work for all the from probably 3 of the teams that have made it through. I'm very curious to see how Lobby 2 goes.
Yeah, so we're setting up Lobby 2 at the moment. I've just got an invite. So while we're in this zone of setting everything up, getting the next lobby started. We got 145 people in here, and other than you guys asking me what I'm wearing under my below my waist, give us some questions. Give us what you'd like to know, and I'm also going to say it. Hello, Urban. I see you. I see you speaking. I see you. So let's get some of these hashtag Karma, hashtag Ask Scotty, or hashtag Ask OFI, because I think Slammer's in the chat. He's just lurking. He's lurking in the background doing all the stuff. So if you want to ask us any questions, let us know. And I will show you what I'm wearing underneath, and we'll do a poll. I don't know if we can do a poll, but we'll do a poll on what you think it is as well. So stay tuned for that, because that's always exciting. Everyone...
I think enough yeses all in the chat will be able to say what's Karma wearing. I think a lot of the viewers probably want to know regardless. I mean, you've done it before in the previous events, so you might as well keep it a tradition and show us anyway.
I'll keep it a tradition. I'll show you all what I'm wearing, but it will be at the end. So stick around. Obviously, it's probably the most exciting part of the vid. It's probably my pants. Everyone gets up and about it. I think Slammer's in the background setting up the lobby, and he's also set me up some results, so he can send me through some combined results, because we're on a bit of limbo with that.
Yeah, I will say to Maddie, you're probably looking at the other direction, not the 6-pack. You're looking at probably the beer keg. So you may not see me massively sort of stand up, but yeah, sort of look at the other direction, and then you might be a little bit closer.
Oh, geez, there's so many. Hang on. I need to hang on. I need to go up. I need to scroll up. Okay, so oh my god. First one from Jaden is, what are you wearing under the... Yeah, well, thanks. It's the standard. You'll get it. You'll get it at the end. We got two that's also saying, what am I wearing? How much of that hairline do you have left? Okay, I'm 24. It's disappearing. All right. Okay, I don't have much time left. I'm blonde. All right. So how many blonde people do you see that are 40? Scotty, you have a 6-pack, don't you? Surely.
No. That's what I said. No. I'm a little bit older. I'm nearly 31, and yeah, let's just say it's not a 6-pack.
Now I'm gonna.
It'd be nearly double digits the last time I went to a gym, so yeah, probably a good idea that I don't stand up.
I'm actually gonna do what Tom has said. I have seen you did get a question about the graphics that you do for leagues. So if many people don't know, Scotty is a wizard behind the scenes, and for a lot of leagues, he actually does some very, very neat graphics in terms of qualification results, race results, different strategies and stuff that you can see throughout the race, as well as like attack ratings, defense ratings, overtake ratings, and stuff. Scotty, where do you get that from? Do you want to give him a free little...
No, I wouldn't exactly say it's from me, but sort of a program called Racing League Tools. So obviously, I believe it's a Russian guy that actually is programmed, that has done a lot of the programming side of the Racing League Tools program. So obviously, it uses the data in each race, and if the drivers are sharing the data, I can gather all that up, and that sort of provides sort of the race results, and we use the renders and that to provide the wonderful graphics that you may see on social media or in the Discords as well. So sort of the pure pace and the consistency, the game sort of measures that up. May not be accurate all the time, but sort of a neat thing that we've sort of added. Obviously, Slammer has used it, and a few more leagues are introducing it, which is good because it just gives that little bit of extra information that a lot of the drivers are liking, which is good. So, yeah, it's sort of something that I got into a little bit, and I said I enjoy sort of the stats man in myself. I like seeing it. So,
yeah, it's very good. I was very surprised when I first saw it. I was like, holy crap, I get to see me DNF, or I get to see like my little strategy and stuff. If I went a one stop, how long did I go on the medium tire? And it allows you to reflect if you want to go into other leagues. You can see, oh crap, I actually went this X amount of time on this tire. Next question. I think Tom asked me to measure my forehead with my fingers. I think I can do the whole palm. Yeah, I can. So there you go. What's next? Ask how far can I just... Jaden, just guess the time you flog. Just... Scotty, are you single? That's the next question.
At the moment, yes.
At the moment? Oh, at the moment. It's in progress.
So not in progress, just single.
It's in
single
progress.
at the moment. So yes.
In progress. Love it. Ads has asked, Shuey at the end of stream. Now, I'm currently wearing Ugg boots, but that doesn't mean I'm not wearing pants. But I am currently wearing Ugg boots, so I'm not doing a Shuey out of the Ugg boot. I can tell you that. That is disgusting. What do you got? Did you go to court today from Rapid? I can be whatever you want to be. But no, I'm not a lawyer. We got any others? We got T Seth. What are your betting odds for session 2? Well, speaking of session 2, let's bring up the lobby. What a segue that is. So we've got lobby 2 here. We've got OCE in the Red Bulls with Ryan 97, Master Berserk. OSRL representing the Ferrari with Jacob Canias and Marcus Costa. Obviously, 2 very prominent drivers that have raced in the OFI before. No bias. Then we've got ORL. So we've got Geordie Slater with is it Civet? I think it's Civet, or is it an acronym? I'm not too sure. I think it's is it Civet? I'm pretty sure it's Civet.
We'll go with Civet, and if they make it into next week, they can correct us on the name. If we don't get corrected in the chat. But yeah, as I said, I think we'll go with that.
Yes, and then followed by DRS Down Under Racing with Frosty and Roscoe, two more prominent drivers in our region with the Oceania Gaming. Now, Oceania Gaming have competed before. Unfortunately, they've been riddled by some problems with their league. So it would be very good to see a very good outing here with Badgerman Cam and Bambi, who are 2 very quick drivers, very underrated drivers. So it would be very, very good to see them do well. Next, we've got RRL, also known as Rapid Racing League, in that Alfa Romeo with Rapid Relics and Noodles. And finally, ARL, Aussie Racing League, Lee the G and Finns. Now, Lee the G, to my knowledge, and I will say this, and he's heard me say this before, is an absolute quality merchant. So we'll see how he goes in the qualifying here. He's top 50 in a lot of time trial leaderboards. However, he's a bit different when it comes to the race. So we've got to see what these guys can do. We're going to only have 12 drivers, I believe, in this race. I am seeing 14 in the lobby. Are we missing one? I'm just trying to figure out what is going on here.
I think we got all the drivers in there. I think you just can't count.
Can I not count? Wait, so it is 14 leagues. Somebody told me it was 13 leagues. So it is 14 leagues. Well, all right, okay.
Well, it's all sorted now. So
it's all sorted.
We'll get it going. But yeah, as I said, I think OSRL sort of going to be right up there. Ryan 97 did well in event 4, getting I think at least a podium or 2. So yeah, Ryan OCE, watch them. And then obviously Down Under Racing, your solid hand at Frosty and Roscoe. Frosty sort of come up a little bit out of nowhere over the last season, so it'd be very interesting to see what pace Frosty has, especially around here.
Yeah, it'll be very, very, very interesting. And I think we're just going to get a results at the end, I believe, because Slam has been flat chat in the background, getting all the lobby set up and everything. So it will be suspenseful unless you took your own notes throughout the race. Obviously, both sessions are dry, because otherwise that would be unfair. But yes, obviously we've got 14 leagues, only 10 can get through, and we've just jumped in the session right now. So let's set it up again. I'll bring you in so you can see me set it up, because I don't really mind. So bring me in, sitting on board with Marcus. Let's set up the lobby. I think it already is set up how I had it. Full track map, beautiful. Hide that, and we're good to go. So we're already good to go, and you've already left the session.
Bloody hell.
Standard activities from you.
That's right. It's going to be very interesting to see, considering that we both have a league race after this quali session. So interesting to see if I actually get to race tonight. But
yes, we do.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's looking at session 1. We're thinking the cutoff's probably looking at it maybe a 16.7, maybe even as low as a 16.5. So if you don't have both your drivers around that point, you sort of need one sort of to really fly close to a 16 flat nearly. So that's sort of the cutoff that we're looking at. So
I reckon that cutoff's that 16.6, 16.7. You've got to be competitive. I think we saw two leagues from the last qualifying event not putting in enough time, but the times above that would be in 10th was sitting at 16.6. So you got to be going for that 16.6, 16.7. I reckon that's your cutoff.
Yeah, and having a look at the track map, not a lot in terms of toes this time around. You can see that a lot of the teams are just spread out a little bit, so maybe not worrying about the toe at least for the first run, and just making sure that they do get a banker sort of in a bit of clear air. So it's going to be interesting, and obviously making sure that they actually provide a valid lap, because we saw that in the last session they need to set a lap early on.
Yeah, and we saw how chaotic it got at the end. Obviously, we saw the two Mercedes driving into each other, but they still set competitive times. But I believe Bambi will be our first driver on a lap, so I'm going to sit on board with Bambi. And I've already done a little run through, and he's actually ran into traffic somehow. Actually, he won't be on the first driver on a lap. It's actually Lee the G. So Lee the G is the first driver on a lap, but I'm already on board with Bambi. So we'll sit on board with Bambi from Oceania Gaming. He's coming into turn 1. Just got to make sure he just kisses that apex. Don't want to cut it too much because it throws you out into turn 2. Turn 3, just before that black box. Nicely turned in. It's a little bit wide, but nothing too bad. And he's gone way wide. He's in the fence. Oh, he's out. Bambi's out. And heartbreak for Oceania Gaming.
And that pretty much seals them as the second team that's out, unfortunately, because with the 2-minute...
Hang on, we're getting a red flag.
Oh, because I think it might be forced cockpit cam, so...
No way it's forced cockpit cam.
I think it's forced cockpit, so...
No way.
So we'll see the guys crash out, but really unfortunate. So that might have been why. Not sure if Bambi does use cockpit. I don't imagine a lot of these drivers would use it, but yeah, obviously that might have been a bit of an issue. So obviously we'll have to red flag it. Hopefully they all just retire and don't leave the session, so we can pretty much just ready up this straight away. Leather G set a 17.5.
I don't think that was competitive at all.
Or a bit of an opener.
But
yeah, it would have been competitive, but
it's a good little practice lap.
So need the guys to retire straight away, so we can still get this quali done at least around about 8. So
yeah, because me and Scotty are both racing in another league at 8 o'clock, so it would be good to get this underway. But that league being OSRL, but we've just got to get these guys to retire. Are we able to get that communication through? Surely they know because everyone's DNF'd.
And you'd imagine, I think a lot of these leagues would have engineers sort of there, so it's only Oceania Racing League that's left to retire, so hopefully they've gotten the message, or will get the message.
What are they doing?
I would have figured that they've seen that much carnage on track that they wouldn't have, they would have seen everybody retire, so we can see them practicing their toe, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't know. We got places to be, and everybody's DNF'd. And Civic's just put it in the fence. I don't know what we're doing. Are we doing a practice run? Getting a quick practice in, looks like.
I don't know, but surely these guys have had enough practice over the last 2 weeks since they've been nominated, so got to pick it up just a little bit. So just waiting on Geordie to retire. Obviously wanting to set maybe a lap time, but it's eating to our other stuff that we've got to do. But
all that for an 18-1. Don't understand.
Anyway, that's it.
Anyway, moving on. You'll get to see our beautiful faces again while they organise this. So, anyway, moving on. That was a big old waste of time. So we waited all that time for an 18-1.
Best question is, who do we blame that put the forced cockpit cam on if that was the issue?
That's
the more intriguing question that I have.
Mr. Slammer, I know you got a lot going on. However, how have you forced cockpit cam? I'd like to know. I must know how forced cockpit cam had occurred. But you know how it is. Now we've got to do another lobby setup. So we're back at it. Somebody's already asked Karma, will you marry me? I'm 23 and you're 24. Just do it. I know you're not 23. So, not going to do that. I'm not the bloody host, you funny bugger. Oh, wait. Okay. Who's hosting this one then? Who can we blame?
Yeah, actually.
Who can we blame?
Well, aren't you still in the lobby?
Yeah, I am. They're actually doing they actually are doing a race start. I just want to see how this goes. Got a bit of carnage in the race start. Oh, don't you love to see it? I'll throw it back to us. They can get that cleaned up. I'll tell you who the lobby host is, and I will definitely not publicly shame them. Definitely not. But this means that hopefully our race tonight gets pushed back. Scotty, consider you're hosting.
No, I palmed that off. So I think someone else has got that job. So I don't know who yet. But then again, if it's because it starts in about 12 minutes, we might not be racing anyway. So you might be throwing another championship.
Oh, maybe. Oh, throwing. We calling this throwing. I didn't throw the last. Oh, actually, I kind of did. I kind of threw the last one. Hang on a sec. I'm just pleading my case in the tier 2 chat, no SRL. However, we still have 124 people here, and we had that massive stuff up. But yeah, I was actually really surprised to see that many toes in our first session. I understand that it is a team event, but I was really happy to see a lot of the boys engaging in that team play. So that was really good to see.
Well, that might be what the second session or second lobby has sort of learnt, that we did see no one really giving each other a toe except for sort of the mercs while sort of when the red flag was thrown, but a lot of the guys are setting a banker lap by themselves, so they might have just had a different process working it out. But we did see the toes definitely helped, especially in the middle part of that first quali session with Wallaby really getting the advantage from it. Not sure if Flashback, I don't think Flashback took advantage of it, and they still got a really nice time. It's just whether or not it gets executed, as we saw with the Ferrari team. Unfortunately, botched that a little bit. I think VSC botching that just a little bit just before the straight. So it's just whoever works it the best.
Yeah. I've just seen something really funny in the chat. It's an inside joke. That is hilarious. I love you too, Key. It's an inside joke with me and my brother. But besides the point, if you want to hate on the person who stuffed up the lobby, it was Frosty. So you can Frosty's the host. He accidentally forced cockpit cam. So if you want to yell at anybody, it was Frosty.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he's most certainly not cockpit cam either. So I don't know where he's going, and he does host certain leagues as well. So he's set up plenty of lobbies beforehand, but obviously clearly botching it tonight. So
yeah, he is. But we're getting straight back into it. Wow, that was quick. Good turnaround there from Frosty. I hope he hasn't stuffed up another setting. Hopefully, he gets repercussions for bad host or something silly. But nevertheless, we're about to get into it. What the hell? Hang on, I just need to see what Timmy said. Remember those dumbbells I let you borrow 6 years ago? Well, long story short, my missus wants them back. Oh, yeah, sure. Come around, I don't know, 6 p.m. tomorrow. But we'll jump back into the session. Let's jump back over. So back in it. Here we are, back into the session. Hopefully no forced cockpit cam. So who's coming out first? Looks like Marcus Costa might be our first driver out this time. Unless he gets cut off by somebody else. So we'll see what happens here. Who will be our first driver out? I think every one of my spectator settings is all good. Obviously dry session like I mentioned before. But here we go. Scotty, are you actually able to do me a favour and have the leagues up on the side or somewhere that...
Yes.
So that you can correct me if I'm wrong with the leagues. But this time, it's more of the same actually. The McLarens are split, but Mercedes are split. Well, the McLarens are still actually both out. Alpine's coming both out. Red Bulls are split. The Mercs are split. And Marcus has invalidated his outlap, but it doesn't matter. But I believe that would be Bambi again, being the first car out. So I will go on board with Bambi, who binned it in turn 5 in cockpit cam. Actually, that's probably why the laps were so bad, was because they were in cockpit cam, setting an 18-1 or whatever it was.
Yeah, that could be true too. That if you're not usually doing it, but I've cheekily just seen a little screenshot that Slam has sent me, so sort of got the little results that obviously we'll share at the end. But yeah, can't wait for this one.
Is he working in the shadows?
Obviously we'll follow Bambi. Hopefully he doesn't have another issue at turn 4 like they did previously.
Yes, so Bambi coming down to turn 1. We'll talk through his lap. We'll see what he can do. Obviously, that concrete little slab there on the left is where you're braking into 5th gear, just kissing the apex, staying in 5th on the exit, full flat, down towards turn 3, DRS open. Brake at the black box there on the left. Down into 3rd gear, 4 extra rotation, up to 4th. Want to get the car rolling, using as much of the track as possible as Bambi does there. Doesn't put it into the fence because he's not in cockpit. Flat through 5th, turn 5, coming up to turn 6. Getting as far left as you can, carrying all that speed through 6. Don't want to invalidate, especially on your first lap around here. Now, he's by himself. His teammate's nowhere near him, so no tow. You can see the Merc actually on the track map there waiting in Sector 1 for his teammate for a tow. So Mercedes obviously made it evident before that they're going to do a tow. But here, there you go, guys. If you check the chat, the Lobby 1 rankings have been put in. So not to take away from this session, but that is your provisional results. So Bambi, like I said, it's got to set that 1:16.6, I reckon. 1:16.7 is your cutoff time here for Bambi. So Bambi comes across the line, no tow. First lap looked pretty clean and tidy, nothing out of the blue. Bambi goes through and sets a 17 flat. We've got a Alfa Romeo behind. I believe that's not Noodles. That is Relics. And Relics goes at fast as 16.8. I think Marcus Costa was behind too. He's very rapid around here, is Marcus. Definitely didn't beat him on track in Tier 1 OSRL. But Marcus crosses the line. He's only 17.4. That's a bit odd for Marcus. I'm trying to figure out who that AlphaTauri is. That is Lee the G. Sorry. Sets a 16.6. And I think that's Noodles crossing the line now. Noodles crosses the line. He was invalidated.
So I was just wondering if traffic was playing a little bit of a part in a couple of these drivers. Ryan Hunter goes 16.
Yeah, Ryan 97.
Nearly matches. Yeah, nearly matches the top time. Only about a 10th off.
Yeah, it is. That is
great lap.
Yeah, that is pretty rapid. From Ryan 97, also known as Ryan Hunter. 16.2 banker. What a juicer. What can Frosty do in the Alpine? Roscoe only sets a 17.9. And Frosty, 16.6, puts himself into that nice little safety net, I believe. But Geordie Slater's still on his outlap. Interesting. I think Civet may have invalidated with the tow. And that was Ryan with no tow, by the way. So jump on board with Geordie Slater.
Yeah, really solid lap there, and obviously clean air, definitely a benefit, and still a first banker. So Ryan...
Oh, he's not sharing his telemetry, that I've just realised. Geordie Slater. Geordie Slater not sharing his telemetry. I need to do a quick reset. What is going on up here, actually? Before I do that, what the hell is happening here? We're actually getting a tow already. Mercedes tow here for Geordie Slater. No, he's just not sharing his telemetry. Geordie Slater getting a nice little tow into the chicane of 9 and 10 here. Cuts it in very nicely. 7th gear, invalidates. So that's his lap done. So both Mercedes have invalidated.
Yeah, and that really hurts, especially when you validate while getting a tow, because it ruins both drivers and it just wastes time. I know we still got 12.5 minutes left to go in the session, but really costly.
Yeah, it is. Looks like Rapid Relics is going again. It looks like. So he's currently going through now. Gets nice line there. But both Mercedes big. No banker laps. Well, obviously they'll have the Delta lap, but no banker laps there for the Mercedes. I don't think Geordie finished his lap. He went straight into the pits. So he's got no Delta. Rapid Relics coming through now. And I also noticed that Josh Rimmer didn't also set a time either. He had an invalid lap. So he's gone around again. So is Relics. So Relics coming through now. Set his second lap. And he's just ran out of battery across the line. And he's improved to a 16.63. Wowee. So he's up into P3. But nobody's close to Ryan Hunter at the top there.
Yeah, so obviously there's a fair bit of a gap, but I think now the drivers that obviously we still need the second Red Bull to obviously make sure they get a lap in. Otherwise, Ryan's work will be all for nothing, and OC misses out. So that's definitely the one car that we have to watch.
Oh, Slammer's just made a little widget for exclamation mark lobby 1, so you can double check the times at any time you would like. What can Josh Rimmer do here coming through the final corner? Can he put in a nice time to match his teammate? And he goes 16.7, which is pretty competitive considering the circumstances for that team, with the 16.2 already on the table. So that's very, very good outing so far.
Yeah, and you feel like with how great Ryan's lap was, that you feel like that should be there. As you can see, VSC. I know they were 6 out of 7, but their lap was a 2:33.560. So at their combined times, a 2:32.
Yeah, I said in
still
my
within the 2:32, yeah. So still really good.
I said in my prediction that the cutoff time was going to be a 2:33.323 or 3:45. I think I said 3:45, which is very close to race spec. Race spec's time. So we'll see what happens. Lee the G's on an outlap. We've got a lot of cars on an outlap at the moment. I'm trying to follow. I can see there's a Ferrari crossing the line. Who is that? That is Marcus. So Marcus going again. He didn't really set a competitive lap time on his first lap. 17.4. He can go a whole second faster than that, can Marcus. So, rocking that number 7.
Yeah, definitely need to, because OSRL looking at a 2:34, so that would possibly knock them out if the guys behind set decent lap times. So Marcus obviously won a race last OFI event, so we'll be looking to continue their good form in this OFI fixture.
Yeah, he's looking nice and tight through sector 2. See what he does through here. He's hugging the walls of this track, as you would. Gets really close to that entry wall on the right there. Gets it nice and hooked up this time. No corner cutting from Marcus. So coming down towards turn 11. Very crucial corner on this track. You get a lot of rear locking through turn 11. And he's just in that track limits. Wow, by B's you know what. And he's just coming through turn 12 very nicely. Doesn't invalidate. He's just trying to get a lap in. A nice, decent lap in. 16.4 or something for Marcus would be phenomenal. Comes across the line. Marcus Costa, only 16.8. So he's not showing the pace he usually does here at Australia, does Marcus Costa, but Jacob Canias tucked in behind. And Ryan Hunter's actually invalidated on his lap. I did notice he was on a lap behind. He has invalidated. I think Lee the G's coming across now. So Marcus may be on used tyres. Very good call there from you, Jaden.
Yeah, but they're slightly behind Raceback's time if they stay there at the moment. 2:33.4, I believe.
Oh,
as a quick guess.
2:33.6. No, it's 2:33.6.
Yeah, sorry, 2:33.6. So yeah, about 3/10 off. So we'll really need to find time, because they actually are behind BSC.
Yes, they indeed are. And I'll tell you what, Lee the G's gone to 16.3, as we saw on board, but we can sit on board with Civet. Civet, 16.4, very competitive lap time from Civet. I think that's the Alpine of Roscoe Arm coming through to set his lap. He does 17.2, not competitive enough, I'm afraid. We've also got the Alpine of Frosty, he's on an outlap. Who else we got? We've got Rapid Relics, who's on a lap. We've sat on board with him so far. I think Geordie Slater's on a lap. And he's invalidated already as Geordie Slater. So that's again another invalidation for Geordie Slater. Oh, crap. Whoops. And he has... unfortunately put even more pressure on him.
Yeah, going to have to do a checkered flag from lobby 1 and pretty much stored at the death on one set of tyres nearly.
Yeah, this is not good for Geordie. It's not ideal. I can't really see the time. It's like 6 minutes 50. So we've got 6 minutes 50. It's only enough for, maybe for him, 2 runs on the same set of tyre. But Finn's up. He's going to come across the line. What's he going to set? Finn's is set at 16.5. So we're starting to see the AlphaTauri group pull through. Like I said, lead the GB and Quali Merchant up there in 16.3, supporting my theory nicely.
So at the moment, it's definitely tight. Roscoe needs to put in a little bit of a quicker time. Otherwise, DRS are in a little bit of danger. As Relics goes into the top 5, 16.5 as well. So very close in that sort of mid-pack. And it's going to be separated by, you think, hundredths of a second to see who sort of misses out, unfortunately. Yeah,
it's looking very, very tight at the top end here. We've got three tenths separating P1 and P6. I'm on board with Joshua Rimmer, who's actually getting a tow from his teammate, Ryan Hunter. So Ryan Hunter on his outlaps giving Rimmer a tow coming through 9 and 10. So can he slingshot himself to the top of the table? P7 currently with a 16.7. He can definitely go faster. He's got to make sure that he gets this nice tiny little lift going into this turn 12 section. Now turn 13, get that nice and tucked in on the throttle, using all of the track, making sure he doesn't lose the rear coming through the final corner, which he doesn't. And I'd imagine these guys are running slightly more downforce considering it's a quali session. Joshua Rimmer comes through 16.5, puts himself ahead of Finn's in P5.
Yeah, you figured those two times were enough. I think that was smart from Ryan to give a tow. As I said, Ryan doesn't really need to improve their lap time. It was more so about bringing the second car up closer. And 16.2 or 16.5, they are most certainly in beating the three teams from lobby, beating 3 of the teams from lobby 1. So
yeah, it's super competitive. I'm sitting on board with Ryan just so we can see the top guy and how he takes his lines throughout this track. So, let's see what he can do. And return the favour. Joshua Rimmer giving Ryan a tow down at the back straight. And they are actually doing the tow right as we are, like, right where I said they were going to. And just quietly, Geordie Slater has done a 16.4 in the background, considering his woes at the start of the session. So both Mercedes 3 and 4.
And that puts ORL pretty much in a very safe spot on a 232.8.
Yeah, he is. I don't actually know what's going on in OSRL Tier 2 at the moment, but besides the point, Ryan Hunter, what is he going to set? He got a tow. Can he get in the 15s? 16.1 with the tow from Ryan Hunter. Very, very tidy lap.
Yeah, great lap time, and I think it said that I thought it was slightly down in the middle sector, even with the tow. So that's what it looked like on the stream. But yeah, great time, and as I said, I think Ryan will be very safe. You figure at the very top, and to be very interested to see what the lobby 1 time was, whether he actually nets P1 outright. Be very interesting to know.
I think he does. I think, wasn't the one in Sector 1 1.9 or 1.6? Can somebody...
Can't quite remember what it was, but yeah. Great lap time from Ryan. And yeah, P1, P5, they should be safe. Yeah,
Chillo is in here, and it was a 1.6. So 16.16 from Chillo, and we've got a 16.142. So where are we?
A lot of drivers out on circuit for their final runs. 2 minutes 35 left to go in the session, and it is going to be hopefully a little bit less carnage than what we saw in lobby 1, and we don't see retirements on track. But there's a few teams that are really in trouble. OSRL down in 10th and 11th, and Oceania Gaming in 12th and 13th as well. Really need to get their final laps done.
Yeah, something I've just noticed. I'm on board at the moment with Noodles, and you can see just ahead that Alfa Romeo going really slow through the end of the first sector. So I reckon he's going to give him a tow down that back straight, is Rapid Relics, and then he'll start his final run. So just got to pull Noodles here through the second sector. As you can see, he's just on that exit of 6. As he just goes left of screen. And here we go. The Alfa Romeo boys giving each other a tow. Can imagine the favour will be returned on Rapid's lap. But here we go. I reckon that the tow here gains at least half a tenth to a tenth. So it is crucial, especially when you're putting in these lap times like these guys are. But Noodles. He's coming through now. He got through 9 and 10. Nice and tasty. Nice and smooth. Doesn't really go too wide. And he's sideways through turn 11. That could have cost a little bit of time. Going through turn 12. Saves. Doesn't go too wide either. He's gone pretty safe here for his sector 3. He doesn't want to invalidate. Doesn't want to cost the team. Gets through the final corner. Very nice. Opens that DRS wing. What is it for Noodles? Noodles goes, and he only just improves by a tenth. Stays where he is. So his teammate Rapid Relics is on a lap. He's about to start his lap. I think Civet is also on a lap. And he's invalidated. So that's it for Civet, I believe. Yep, that will be it for Civet.
Yeah. You figure that they should be safe on that third, fourth, 16-4 apiece.
So Finns crosses the line, goes second with a 16.299. Does Finns. Yeah, I'd imagine he'd be safe as well. I do think Roscoe's starting his lap. He's invalidated, so he's going again. So these Alpines...
Yeah.
Gotta get going.
Yeah, I was just going to say ARL seems to be safe as well. Second and third, the great lap time, 16.2, 16.3 from the pair of them. And Lee the G proving his quality pace once again.
Yeah, 16.3. Lee the G. Both of those guys with very, very good lap times. I wonder what Joshua Rimmer is able to do. I see Ryan's out on the track, but I don't know if he's going to get through in time. I don't think he is. And massive mistake there from Benjamin Cam. Oh, no. It's going through turn 13. I don't know if he'll improve on his time, and he doesn't. So, heartbreak for Benjamin Cam. But I do see a Red Bull parked at the end of Sector 2, so I do believe we may see another tow. Or maybe not. He's just getting out of the way. We'll jump on board. I think Lee's on a lap. And he is. And he did get a tow. So Lee's on a lap and he got a tow. He's in P3. Can he improve by 2 tenths and take pole? He's got to make it all up in this last sector. He gets a tow. Coming down to turn 11 now. Making sure not to lock the rears. Using all of the track. Coming onto the exit of 11. Just off the throttle. Uses some of the track. Not all. And unfortunately Marcus Costa has not improved. Neither is Jacob Kanai. So OSRL in danger of being out. And I think they are actually. So Lee the G's coming through now. Goes pole 16 flat. Oh my lord. What a lap. What a lap from Lee the G.
Fantastic lap, and that will pretty much claim sort of your pole position on qualifying night.
Yeah, wowee. 16 flat is something that you can flail around, but can anybody beat it? Geordie Slater coming across the line. Sets a 16-1. And that's it. That's the final lap. And wowee. I think OSRL are out. I genuinely think they are out.
Yeah, obviously the guys just unable to set a proper lap time. We'll obviously get that confirmed from Slammer very shortly, but yeah, what a lap from Lee the G. And
a 16 flat from Lee the G. Wowee.
It's gonna be tight in terms of who's making it and who's not. DRS might be missing out. Roscoe 17 flat, Frosty a 16.4. It's going to be tight. We'll obviously have to wait and just sort of see how we do go, but really unfortunate for, Marcus and Jacob, 2 great drivers in the previous event. Unfortunately, looks like missing out.
Yeah, that's unfortunate from OSRL. But nevertheless, we get to see all of our drivers complete their laps, and we get the ultimate countdown of where is everybody. So I believe we can probably, unfortunately for the McLaren duo of OCE, they may unfortunately be out of OFI5. But it's been a very entertaining session. I can say that.
Oh, it's been a great 2 sessions, and sort of who would have picked Lee the G to pretty much take pole position out of the 28 drivers that we did have. We knew he was quick and quali. So we'll wait and see if Lee the G can provide that next week and try and actually start on pole position for the proper 50%. Obviously, full qualifying next week as well. So that will spice things up a little bit as well.
Yes, and we're just waiting for Slammer to get through. Give me some information on what the outcome is of this. Unfortunately, I do believe Oceania Gaming is out based on the times that we saw from the first session. However, we got to see who's in. It looked like OSRL was out too, so it's 2 huge outs potentially for the first qualifying, well, the only qualifying session that we are doing here today. But we just got to sit around and just wait a little bit. We got to see what these times are going to be. Just waiting to get some confirmation. Now, Slammer, are you going to send it to me and am I putting it on the stream? Or what's the go? What is the go? I can see that they are causing carnage in the session. I'm going to just leave the session. All right. So, let's see.
So we're thinking, having a quick look, we're thinking Oz F1's out. We're thinking Oceania Gaming's out. OSRL are out. I think we just got to try and find who the fourth team is.
Yes.
And it's going to be very close. Race Spec, actually, it might be VSC, maybe. I think Race Spec is safe. 233.389.
Yeah, I think Race Spec are safe.
I think VSC might be the cutoff, the 233.560. They'll be either direction. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, it is. This is close down to the wire. We got to, obviously, with the calculations, we got to see who gets through. And I'm just waiting to hear from our boy up in the head office, Mr. Slammer. So I just quickly switch F1 back to my other screen because I'm not using it anymore. So I have another screen. Oh shit, I need to plug it in. But, let's see if it bugs out. Is it going to bug out? No, it's not going to bug out. Alright, cool. Let's do that. This is bugging out. My computer's bugging out. Alright. Cool. Alright, we're back. So we've got to figure out these times. Now, if we just quickly look at our lobbies. So I'm pretty sure if I do the little thing in the chat, was it lobby 1? So Wallaby set a 232.4 as poll, and obviously we had the 7 leagues. So VSC 233.560. So that means the 2 drivers would have had to at least set an 8 and a 6, or an 8 and a 7. OSRL set an 8 and an 8. The McLaren set a 9 and a 2 flats. I think it was 2 flats.
They were lower. So
and Roscoe
OSRL, you can definitely count.
Yeah.
So I think DRS might have actually scraped in. You know, I think they were stuck at I think they might be at a 0.4 where VSC's a 0.5. So I think it might actually be between DRS and VSC to see who actually claims that last spot. But I guess while we're waiting, we can actually discuss next week who we thinking that's actually going to get pole position for the proper quality itself. Leader G, a great lap time. Ryan 97, a great lap time. And then we obviously had Lobby 1 as well, Flashback, and Wallaby right up there as well. It's going to be fascinating to see who actually puts the lap time together. Lee, fantastic result. 16 flat as well. Could we see a 15.9 next week?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Obviously, we saw very competitive lap times. We saw a flat from bloody hell, I've already forgotten who set the flat. Who set the flat? Lee the G.
Lee set the flat.
Lee the G set the flat, and then we obviously had Ryan Hunter in the top. In the 0.1s, we had Geordie Slater in the 0.1s, we had Chill in the 0.1s, so that's 4 drivers all within a 10th at the top. So, yeah, and I'm pretty sure they're 3 different teams, 3 different leagues. Or 4 different leagues.
Yes.
Are they all different leagues?
Yeah, and it's going to... all different leagues, and it's going to be very interesting as well, because obviously OFI, we normally run without safety cars. That's another element that's going to be introduced next week. Obviously, we are running reduced safety cars, and we know around Australia, we know the walls are that close. We saw it in qualifying, just drivers having moments off the curbs. Imagining 20 drivers going around here, that could play a little bit into part of strategy as well.
Yeah.
So we'll have to keep that in mind as well. And maybe it's the guys that are maybe not quite up there, but are consistent and make the right strategies. We could see them on the podium next week.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be a very entertaining race. Obviously, it's just obviously we're all going to do the qualifying again. It's not where they're starting in the race. So, like you said, there's a full quali into the race. So, it'll be interesting to see where everybody places because obviously we've got to see a lot of teamwork and there's different strategies. We go Q1, 2, and 3. So, you've got to make sure you manage your tyres correctly. We might see some of those silly interlaps and the inter-championship and whatever. But, yeah, unfortunately for some of these leagues, not going to be able to participate. And some of those drivers that did race tonight are actually better race drivers than they are quali drivers. So not being able to get picked and moving on, it's quite unfortunate.
Yeah, and we know it's two different aspects. One's quali, you've got outright pace, whereas in terms of a 50% race distance, it's just that little bit of extra consistency, and we know how close these guys are. So it's also picking your moments when to actually make a move, when to maybe just cool off a little bit. Obviously, strategy as well. Do you go for an undercut? Do you go for an overcut? You got all different sorts to worry about, and different drivers are just a little bit better of calculating what they need to do to actually get a good result. So we will see both types in next week with the full qualifying. It's pure pace. Obviously, bending tyres as well. They can't just burn all 3 of their tyres in the first quali session, otherwise they're screwed for the rest.
Yes,
so.
And we have results. Slammer, do you want to jump in here or are you putting them in the chat? He's putting them in the chat.
He said provisional as well, so obviously maybe a couple of things will get looked at. Obviously, maybe towards the end of that Q1 session or that Lobby 1 session, maybe as we saw a few drivers retire. So obviously, it will get double checked.
Yes, I'm just waiting. What are you doing, Slammer? Are you sending them to me? Are you putting them in the chat? What's going on? I'm a bit in the dark here, a bit like a mushroom. What are we seeing?
That's right. Well, I can let you know that you're missing out on a wet qualifying around China at the moment.
I'm missing out on China. I'm probably not even going to be leading the chip after tonight. So
probably not.
Fuck, that's sick. Okay.
Save yourself for missing Monaco last week.
Oh, well, I had to miss it. I've got bloody uni. Hang on. All right, we're about to go dark, but I'm going to bring the results in.
And I think we've got the man of the hour joining us.
Hey, wow.
Yes, just give me a sec. We've gone dark. 0 dark 30.
Ooh.
It's like a build-up here.
These are provisional results, of course, guys.
Hang on.
Because
yes, I haven't put
obviously, I'm watching, don't worry. Obviously, there was a little bit of carnage in the first session, that's for sure. So that might change things. I don't know. I'm not speaking on behalf of our lovely stewards over there on the other side of the world. There we go.
That should be on the stream now. So, ARL, because we've got 2 ARLs.
Yep.
ARL 2, 232.3, and there you have it. DRS scraping by, oh my God, by 0.04 of a second over VSC. Wow. Obviously provisional results. Big shock out, OSRL 233.6. Obviously having struggles filling their Tier 1 grid as of late, but that's unfortunate for them. VSC, also another big out, 233.56. Obviously choosing Checkered Flag as their reserve driver, coming in for Blake Stevenson. If only Blake was racing, maybe he would have had that 400th potentially. But there you have it. We've also got OCE Gaming and OCE Racing, obviously, to separate the two. But ARL2 are our, well, I guess, number 1 qualifying finishes here with 232.3. Wallaby close behind 232.4. We are seeing a lot of 232s. Wowee. Top 6, yeah. 232. All separated by 0.6. So there you have it.
And just looking at the top 3, remember there were 4 separate lap times that got added. 2 separate lap times that got added, and you could just see very close about a tenth separating them. And as I said, I'm looking forward to next week because we'll see all 20 drivers in the same lobby. And yeah, it's going to be a cracker of a qualifying, and then obviously the 50% race will definitely be interesting. I guess one question to ask Lammer, obviously we saw dry conditions in quali. Do we have it on dynamic next week? Or is it sunny again?
Absolutely. No. They don't get it that easy, mate. No chance. It will be dynamic. It will be horrible. It will be yucky. No, it's whatever the game gods actually give us, mate. So, yeah, it will be on dynamic. I'm actually looking to see who won the F124. So we did have a competition running in the server as well, guys. Who would get the closest time?
Oh, surely I got pretty close.
What the cutoff?
Surely I got pretty close. I did a 2-minute 33.3 something. So I'm pretty close.
You went 0.634, so you're over, mate.
What? No,
Said,
I did 3.
You said.
Did I do 6?
634?
No.
Yep.
No.
So
I'm out.
I can tell you, it is 286. Oh no, we've got a 233.470.
Yeah, that was
and
from
then
Potato.
you're next. Potato.
Yeah.
That's
So-
it.
Yeah, that'd be
My
Potato.
teammate from Tier 2.
Yeah.
Potato, you've won a free copy of F124 on a console of your choosing. Or a
Hang on.
platform.
No.
Oh, no?
You've provisionally
won.
You should have said it.
Sorry, Potato,
But,
you've
yeah.
provisionally won a copy of F124 on any
Yeah.
platform of your choosing.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you very much for all your input tonight. It's probably too late for your race just quietly. This went on a bit longer than what we thought. But yeah, looking forward to next week when we see these top 10 guys go at it. It should be good fun.
Yes, it was. I had a lot of fun tonight. I'm so excited to see how you go next week, Scotty, with George. It'll be a very nice race. I'll be definitely tuning in and watching.
That's right. Don't
for sure.
Don't talk to me Wednesday afternoon because I'll be racking nerves probably. But no, it definitely excited from it, and obviously George just coming off the F1 esports events that have obviously been running as of late. So yeah, looking forward.
Well, he's live right now, mate.
Yeah, the
Oh,
racing.
it would be. So.
Now,
Jump across to the Formula One channel if you want, and you can listen to Georgie Boy going at it. And
Yes,
bringing the other big boys, I suppose, the real big boys, but the pretend real big boys. These are the big boys here in our region.
Now, I'm going to answer the question everybody's been asking for. Am I wearing pants?
Ooh.
All right, so it's the question, and 88 people have stuck around for it, so I'm going to show it. We're bringing it back. All right, we're back. All right, got to show you. We are indeed the ripper combo of suit pants and slippers. Look at that. Absolute ripper. There you go, fellas. There you are.
Got the Uggs.
The absolute ripper. The ripper fit. And now we're about to watch the live view account drop because of that. But
Yeah.
nevertheless, thank you all for joining tonight. We got up to, I think, about 150 people at one stage. That was
well.
Yeah, so
Nice.
well,
We'll see what next week brings, mate. With Next Level Racing throwing in their support as well. So there'll be a lucky winner of a rig and a monitor stand next week.
yes, indeed. So make
so,
sure you tune in next week. Potential winnings in the chat with a random giveaway. I believe it is. Slammer, it's a giveaway.
It is
Yes.
similar to the last OFI. Got to get involved in the chat.
Yes, absolutely. But thank you all for joining tonight. Tune in. It's 7:30 next week, isn't it? Slammer, 7:30.
Yes, 7:30.
OFI. Yes, where we do full qualifying here in Australia, dynamic weather, and a 50% race. I've been Karma, and that's been Scotty. And this is Slammer, obviously, in the background. Thank you all for joining, and we'll catch you all next time.
We are all set, Captain. You are ready to go.